Hi, welcome to this month's Learning with Loden. This month's topic is going to be our second update for the year on academics. We have a variety of programs in our district that help us to give and provide well-rounded experiences for our students, regardless of academics, activities, and different things that help us. And this will be our second episode where we showcase some of the things that go on across our district so that we can provide these well-rounded experiences for our children. Enjoy this month's program, and as always, a quick reminder, the videos from Learning with Loden are archived on our YouTube channel, so please check them out and have a good day.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Learning with Loden. We're here with Dr. Josh Chastain and Clay Hanna, who are a part of our curriculum and education offices, and we're really going to kind of talk about our standardized testing and kind of our focus on that, how it's a part of what we do, but not really that it doesn't control everything that we do in the district. And so I know we're coming up on standardized testing season, but we've really been kind of preparing for this all year long for multiple years, just kind of get everything ready by really focusing on benchmarks for our students. And so how does that kind of play in our preparations, and then how do those benchmarks work?
So one of the things that we do as educators is try to make sure that we are keeping up with where our students are at, making sure that we appropriately assess them and continue to grow them at their level. And for our K through 6, we have what is called Evaluate Benchmarks, which gives us an assessment that for our kindergarten and first graders is quarterly, and then for our second through sixth grade is a monthly assessment. And it really is focused on the standards of that grade level, and it allows a teacher to know where a student is performing or not performing, and that snapshot just allows them to support them in their individual learning and allow them to differentiate the learning for the students in their classroom.
And I don't know, that really does like help get that teacher get like a snapshot of what's going on if they miss something, because every group of students, every student is different, but every group of students is different. So one of them may grasp, a concept really quickly, and you may need to review with another concept before you move forward. And I know the students really seem to like that kind of immediate feedback. I've heard a lot of positive things about that as well.
We've had lots of positive feedback on our benchmarking. We thought it might be a little bit too much. We might hear some feedback, but we really had some great pieces of feedback from our students. Our older students like to know where they're at, what they need to work on. They have a way to go in and see exactly where they're at and where they're progressing. But for our teachers, it really is a way for them to make sure that we're meeting the individual needs of those students and not just saying everybody is at the same spot. We also have benchmarking at our junior high and high school as well.
Right. Similar to what Dr. Chastain mentioned about the elementary, in our junior high, we use that with our 7th and 8th grade ELA departments, and also with our 7th and 8th grade math, and they do those once a month throughout the year. And then at the high school this year was the first time we actually started with our EOC tested courses of Algebra 1 and English 2 that are also using the Evaluate program to help determine where we're at throughout the year with our meeting our standards.
And so it's just kind of that snapshot idea of just checking in with the students throughout the year, making sure we're covering everything. I know, a lot of times people, and maybe in the past they were kind of looking at like, I'm not going to do really well at grammar, but I'm going to do, make up for it with the literature part of the semester. But this really kind of helps us focus on making sure students are getting all aspects of the learning and not just kind of balancing out the grades to where they're not really successful in one and successful in another. That's great.
Yeah, it's just a way to split up the standards for that course or for that grade level, and it allows us to progress them and see how they're doing throughout the school year.
So I know with the benchmarks that it's kind of a lead up to the standardized testing that is coming up here soon. And I know we hear a lot of times, but we don't teach to the test, but this is just kind of a snapshot of what's going on. So Clay, like, how does this standardized testing kind of as a part of our overall teaching and learning process at the secondary level?
Well, it is like we've said, it is just a snapshot, but it helps us determine if how well we are teaching those state standards that we're accountable for. It gives our students and our teachers that feedback on their instruction. We wish the feedback would come a little sooner. That's the bad part about the standardized testing, is that we don't get that feedback in time to be actionable at the time. However, it does kind of let us, dig in for that year to know how we did for that year. Gives those teachers that feedback for their instruction for the year, and those students that feedback to see where they are at relative to their peers and the state standards. So, it is important. It's part of how the school is measured with the state, and so we really try our best to make that a priority with the students knowing that it is important and not to just goof off for that test. And the teachers know, of course, how important it is to be able to measure how we do get some state standards for state accountability purposes.
And I know with the elementary levels, they kind of use that to help just gauge everything as well. So
yeah, it gives each of the buildings, each of the grade levels, an opportunity to, again, assess where they're at and to see where they're continuing. Because, we'd like to say that at each quarter or each year we kind of cut things off, but we have standards that continue to build upon each other, and it's just a benchmark piece. It is a way for us to see where we're at and where we're going and celebrate, because we need to be able to celebrate the success of our students and the learning that they have, and our state assessments help us with that. One of the other things that we want to do by using our Evaluate benchmark is to have an idea of where we're at. So when we go into our state testing, we're not blindsided by something we're way low or we're way high, which we're okay with the way high piece. But it is a way to not be blindsided about where we're going to be at, and allows us to plan appropriately for each of our units of assessment or units of learning, and where we're going next.
So if you were to give, I guess, some advice to students, at the high school, it's kind of the end of course exams, and then at the elementary school, that's the MAP testing. But for the students that are getting ready to take those end of course exams at the high school, are they a part of the grades? How does that work with the prepping for those? What advice would you give?
Well, hopefully throughout the course they have been getting prepared to take that test throughout that particular end of course. So I know many times teachers are going to do a review before the assessment, and just to participate in that, to just like other test taking strategies on the morning of the test, make sure you get up, have a good breakfast, and get focused and get ready to go and really put forth your best effort, because that's going to pay off for the student. It's going to help us know where we are really at. If the student doesn't put forth any effort, doesn't score well, that doesn't really tell us where that student's at, because maybe they really know a lot more than they showed on the test. So we really want them to show what they know to give us a good feel of where our instruction was. Of course, that's coming up soon. Test season is going to be in April. Starting at the high school is going to start, I believe, that third week of April. So parents be aware of that, and be looking for some more information on specific times and schedules coming home from your building, both the junior high and the high school.
And so I know at the elementary school, some of this is brand new for some parents at the lower elementary grades, and so how do they need to first time kind of test taking there, and then how do the rest of them prepare as well? So
we start MAP testing at third grade. They third, fourth, fifth, and sixth grade both take the math and ELA exams. Then our fifth grade also take the science exam for the state. And as a parent, we hope that in the classroom we've helped them to be confident in what they're doing, to be able to show what they know, as Mr. Hanna has said. And as a parent, you just need to make sure that they feel comfortable, because it really is something that they will do the rest of their life. So there's always this opportunity to show what you know, and this is their time, their grade level, to be able to do that. But it really is something that we take seriously as a district, to make sure that we are doing what's best for our kids. And so as a family, we want to make sure that you're giving them the encouragement that they need to be able to show what they know. And we don't want a lot of stress on them. We just want them to go in there and feel confident about what they know.
I think both of you said, that this is just kind of a snapshot of what we've learned throughout the year, and just asking them to show, like you said, show what they know, and do their best, and kind of, I guess, show that Nixa pride of, like, we have a history of high test scores because we take pride in our education here, and this is just one way for us to show it. And so we're really excited to be able to do that, here in the school district. So, well, parents, please make sure that you're looking for those emails and those messages from your teachers and your buildings on what you can do to support your students. If you have any questions, please make sure you reach out to your building and your teachers to make sure that you have all your questions answered, get all that information you need, so together we can have a great standardized testing season and just continue that process of learning that we've been doing all year long. So tune in next time for another edition of Learning with Loden.